All right, let's talk about one of the biggest challenges for pretty much any professional today. How in the world do you turn all that time and effort you're putting into social media into a reliable, predictable pipeline of new clients? It's a huge problem, and today we're going to solve it.
So, does this feel familiar? You're on it, you're posting great stuff, you're staying consistent, you're getting some likes, maybe a few comments, but when you look at the bottom line, the business just isn't growing. It's a really frustrating place to be, and in this explainer, we are going to fix that.
So first, let's actually put a name to this problem. We can call it the social media trap. And honestly, it's the reason why so much of your online effort probably feels completely wasted.
And this is what's known as the activity trap. You're like a hamster on a wheel. You are constantly creating, you're posting, you feel super productive, but your business growth is totally flat. The issue isn't that you're not working hard enough, it's that you're not focused on the right things.
And that brings us right to the core of the problem. You're probably focused on the wrong numbers. To get out of this trap, you have to understand the huge difference between what we call vanity metrics and signal metrics. Vanity metrics are, well, they're exactly what they sound like. They're ego boosters. They look good on the surface, but they don't tell you a thing about the health of your business. Yeah, a massive follower count or a post with hundreds of likes feels great, but it doesn't automatically translate to even one new client. This right here is where we separate the noise from the signal. On one side, you've got these empty numbers that feel good but don't mean much. You know, the ghosts of engagement. And on the other, you have the real signals. This is the breadcrumb trail that actually leads from a casual scroll to a potential client. These are the numbers that really matter. An engagement rate somewhere between 3 and 6%, that tells you your content is actually hitting the mark. Profile visits, that means someone was curious enough to go, who is this person? Link clicks are even better. They're actually leaving social media to connect with you. And direct messages? Oh, that is the ultimate signal. Someone is raising their hand and actively starting a conversation with you. So knowing what to track is step one. But how do you actually use these signal metrics to get better results? Well, that brings us to the optimization cycle. It's a super simple system for making your strategy better and better over time.
And the process itself is surprisingly simple. First, for about a month or so, you just track the signals. You just observe. Second, you look for patterns, what's actually connecting with your audience. And finally, you refine your whole approach. You do more of what's working, way less of what isn't. And then you just repeat the cycle.
Look, the most important point here is this isn't about becoming some data scientist. It's about building a simple, consistent habit of spending maybe 15 minutes a week just looking at what's actually working. That one little habit will put you light years ahead of everyone else. Okay, but let's say your social media is working. You are generating real interest. That's only half the battle. Now we have to look at the second major problem. What happens next? Just think about it for a second. An inquiry comes in. You respond. And then what? For most people, that lead just falls into a black hole of good intentions, scattered emails, and forgotten sticky notes. This is the leaky bucket in your business. So, get this. Research shows most sales close after 5 or more touchpoints. 5. But here's the kicker. Most professionals give up after just 1 or 2 follow-ups. The business doesn't go to their competitor. It goes to the person who just bothered to show up again. This quote really drives the point home. The cost of having a weak follow-up system isn't just one lost client. It's the invisible, compounding loss of every single warm relationship that went cold year after year. It is a massive and totally preventable loss.
So how do we fix this leaky bucket? The solution is a simple system that ensures you never let a warm lead go cold again. And I promise, it does not have to be complicated.
Now, when you hear CRM, you might think of some expensive, super complex software. Just forget that. For our purposes, a CRM is simply an organized record. That's it. It tracks who you're talking to, where the relationship stands, and what you need to do next. And what do you actually track? Just the essentials. Their contact info, what you last talked about, where they are in your pipeline, what they might need, and, this is the most important one, the specific next action you're going to take and when. That last one is the engine of the entire system. And here is a perfect example of just how simple your first CRM can be. This is a basic spreadsheet, that's all. It's free, you can access it anywhere, and you can set this up in about 10 minutes. Remember, a spreadsheet that you actually use is a fully functional CRM. This right here is the golden rule. A sophisticated, expensive tool that you never open is totally worthless. A simple spreadsheet that you update after every important conversation, that is a follow-up machine that can completely transform your business. Consistency beats complexity every single time. So, let's put these two solutions together. When you combine a data-driven social media strategy with a simple, consistent follow-up system, you create something really powerful, a growth loop.
Here's how it works. It's beautiful, really. Your smart content attracts the right audience. That audience generates high-quality inquiries. Your simple CRM makes sure you follow up effectively and turn those inquiries into paying clients. And finally, those happy clients send you referrals, which feeds right back into the top of the loop.
And this is the ultimate transformation. This is the goal. You move from a state of constant hustle, always feeling stressed about finding the next client, to a predictable, pipeline-driven business where the work of building that next relationship is always already happening.
So, I'll leave you with this one question to think about. Is your income dependent on your daily hustle, or is it supported by a system that's actually designed for growth? Building that system is so much simpler than you think, and it is the absolute key to predictable success.